Hello and namaskar viewers, I am Sanjeev Pandya welcoming you to this week's edition of the Tax Talk with AJ. By now you know this is the weekly show, brings you all the latest that you need to know when it comes to taxes. Now, your personal taxes or corporate taxes, meaning your business taxes. If you are the business owner of a small firm, mid-sized firm or large firm, the show is all about for all that you need to know when it comes to taxes. The show is brought to you by Size CPS Services, a full-fledged professional tax accounting firm located in the state of New Jersey, multiple locations. They can assist you no matter where you are in this country. They can be reached at 908-888-8900 for any tax-related matter. You can visit their website, Size CPS Services. Every week, Mr. AJ Kumar, CPA and MBA with Size CPS Services, joins us in the show and gives us update when it comes to taxes, because we are now not only in the middle of the tax season, but we are now in the heat of the tax season, because it's almost end of February and March is just around the corner. Taxes are due April 15th, as you know that. So by now, I hope you have put all your documents together, and wherever you're confused and wherever you need very expert and professional advice from a CPA firm, Size CPS Services should be your choice. They're knowledgeable and experienced CPAs on hand will guide you and assist you in the right direction. With that note, let's welcome Mr. A.J. Kumar. Sir, good to have you in the show.
Thank you, Sanjeevji. Thank you for the kind introduction.
Very good. Yes. Now, Size CPS Services, as I tell our viewers to visit their website, sizecpsservices.com. So now with the website, nowadays, AJ, because Size CPS Services is very, very successful CPA firm, and you have hundreds of thousands of very satisfied and happy clients. But you must be marketing Size CPA firm on the digital platforms. And digital platforms, digital media is extremely important nowadays. Right, AJ?
Absolutely, Sanjeevji. It's not about how much I know. If people can't find me, if people don't know where I am, my knowledge wouldn't be able to help them. So as much as knowing is important, making sure people can find us as a small business is extremely important as well.
Very good. With that note, folks, in this episode, we are delighted to have Mr. Gaurav Garg. He's the founder and CEO of Digital Marketing Specialist. He's a digital marketing specialist of Entrust Tech, and how they can digitally market any business. That's what we're going to find out, because in today's day and age, digital marketing is extremely important. So we'd like to welcome Mr. Gaurav Garg to the show. So good to have you.
Thank you, Mr. Sanjeev.
All right. So you are the digital guru, what we call.
Yes, that's what they call
digital guru.
Yes.
All right. We're gonna talk to you about all the digital importance and everything.
Sure.
Let's just first talk to AJ about the taxes, as the show is Tax Talk with AJ. As I say, AJ, we are in the heat of the tax season, because right now, everybody is really putting it together and want to know whether I will be paying taxes or whether I'll be getting refund. In that case, obviously, number one thing everybody wants to know about deductions. So let's talk about 25 common tax deductions for small businesses.
You're right, Sanjeevji. So the next tax deadline, March 15th deadline, is for small businesses. So what we have right now, what can you claim on your small business? How do you minimize the tax liability? So Gaurav will be talking about how to improve the top line, how do you get more clients, how you increase the revenue. But from tax perspective, what you have, how do you keep most of it? How do you maximize the benefit? And that's where we talk about the deductions. There are a lot of deductions. In the interest of time, we'll be talking about some of these deductions. We have put together 25 commonly used deductions for a small business. So right from the home office, a lot of people, when you have a small business, you always have home office. You have a special space where you do a lot of business work. I mean, it's not a 9-to-5 job, it's a small business. So anything that you have for the home office, if you had to buy the furniture, laptop, you can look at the area that you have in the home that's exclusively used for the office. And then let's say if your total home is 2,000 square feet and you have 200 square feet of the office space, you can claim 10% of the utility, 10% of the other expenses related to your home as business expense. So home office that everybody has, but not many people are claiming. So home office expense is something that people should be looking at.
Home office, then you have bank fees, and then you have advertising expenses. These are the very common ones.
Absolutely.
And if you are a small business and if you have leased auto, car expenses, or even if
100%.
you have not leased the auto, what I want to ask you is that is there a significant deduction which has come in effect in this year's taxes? Something good for a small business or something not good for small business, meaning that has IRS taken away something or is IRS giving something more?
Well, IRS has not taken away anything new or given anything new just for this year, but after the COVID, for a couple of years, for 2 years, we were allowed 100% of the meal deduction. Now we are back to 50% of the business meal deduction, which used to be the case prior to COVID years. So especially for 2024 tax year, we haven't really seen a major change yet. We are expecting, as we discussed in the last week's show, we are expecting a lot of changes, but those changes are going to be going forward from 2025 and onwards.
Correct.
IRS has not made a significant changes to the tax rules, tax laws, but since you are talking about it, the meal deduction is going to be 50%. And the theory is, and it's the same theory what used to be, just for 2 years after COVID, they allowed 100% just to promote the restaurant business, just to promote small businesses. But now we are back to the same theory. If you're going out with somebody, you are eating as well. So only the client's meal, only your guest's meal is deductible, and that's why it's 50% meal deduction as opposed to 100%. On the other hand, if you're buying meal for the whole office, or if you have an office party, those meals are still 100% deductible. But when you're taking a client out, in that case, your meal or half of the meal expense is not deductible.
So the catering at the office is 100% deductible.
It was
but
always
going out to
100%
the
deductible.
restaurant is only now 50%. You know, that might hurt restaurant business because restaurant owners might say that, listen, you know, business clientele is a little bit down because now they are not getting 100% deduction, especially for the expensive or the high-end restaurants I'm talking about. All right, anything with the legal and professional services? I just want to highlight few of the points right now, and then after that we can talk to Gaurav Garg, our guest. So I just want to highlight the few things where small businesses should be looking for some kind of deduction.
Absolutely. So legal and professional fees was always deductible as long as it's related to your business. Say, for example, if you are starting a business and you had to pay the accountant or the attorney some professional fee to start the business, even though the business hasn't started yet, the business startup fee up to $5,000 are deductible, even if this occurred prior to you starting the business. Meaning, let's say your business is starting today, but you have been going around getting professional advice to find out what type of business you should be starting. All those expenses actually occurred, you incurred those expenses prior to starting the business legally. So up to $5,000 of business startup expenses are allowed even before you started the business.
Okay, that's good to know. Now, you know, with this expense deductions and everything, let's talk about your very legitimate business expense, which is when you are spending money to promote your business on a digital platform. Once you promote it on a digital platform, obviously there are various digital platforms and they can be very pricey also. So now the question is that, is it 100% deductible or not? We're going to come to that in a point, but now let's go to our guest, Mr. Gaurav Garg, who is in this field for over 10 years, 12 years of experience that he has built up very well and very knowledgeable when it comes to digital platform to promote any business, and he's been doing it very successfully. He's our guest today. Gaurav, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sanjeev.
Now, 12 years ago, 14 years ago, whenever you started this, you know, becoming part of the digital platform, what has changed in the last 10, 12 years when it comes to digital marketing?
10, 12 years is a very long time.
Gee.
Things have changed. Now we are talking of AI and the technology has changed so fast, it is hard to keep up. The way the content is created, the way platforms are promoting the content from the users. There are almost, I think, close to 2 billion users on Meta platforms. So with the more people coming on the platforms, the advertisement on these platforms has increased. Google every year changes their search engine, algorithms, which keeps digital marketers like us on toes to learn new techniques and tips to keep our businesses website in float.
Okay, so that's a good point you mentioned. Google changes their algorithms, and other platforms they're changing algorithms, and that's where you keep yourself updated with those algorithms to learn what has changed, so that way you can advise an existing or a potential client
Yes.
that how to promote their product or businesses.
Yes.
Go ahead. You were
So originally, when I started, we have to focus on the keywords. Now we have to focus on how good the content for a website is, whether users are spending more time or they are spending less time. It's about the usability of the content that brings your website up in the search engines.
Okay, all right. So now, before we go into the break, we have about a minute left. My question to you now is that a lot has changed, obviously, in this age. When it comes to digital marketing or anything, it changes very rapidly. My question to you, in short, is that how has small business owners' mindset has changed, that now it's really important to be on a digital platform? In the past few years, they were not there. Okay, time lost, money lost, everything is gone, no problem. But has their mindset changed that they really want to jump into digital platform?
That's a really good question, Sanjeevji. For all the small businesses out there, it is very paramount to be online,
Correct.
to have their websites, to have their presence on Facebook, Metas, TikToks, even LinkedIn.
Insta and everything,
So
yeah.
different businesses have different availability on different platforms. If they are not there, I tell them you are losing all the business.
Correct.
If I'm looking for a let's say a plumber in my area and I don't find your website or your presence there, you're losing my business. You are out of competition
Correct.
that way. So that's
But they have realized now that they really need to be on a digital
yes. When I
platform?
talk to the clients, they do come to me with that approach or mindset that yes, I want to have my website, I want to have my business Facebook pages created, and that's how we work with them.
All right, great. With that note, we're going to take a short break. Viewers, you're watching the Tax Talk with AJ. Very important discussion every week that we have, and this week also we are talking about importance of digital marketing along with the important tax deductions for small business. We'll be right back after this messages. Stay with us. Welcome back to the second half of the Tax Talk with AJ, and this is a weekly tax show, and it's brought to you by Science CPS Services. So please make a note of their number 908-888-8900. They can help you, guide you, assist you in person, over the phone, on the Zoom, whatever it is, it's all possible. Their website is sciencecpsservices.com. And with the website, we're also talking about digital marketing, how important digital marketing is, as our guest is Mr. Gaurav Garg, who is into this, a very knowledgeable expert and a professional in the digital marketing. So we're going to touch base on that one also. But right now, with AJ, we're going to continue some of the common tax deductions for businesses, for small businesses rather. All right, now we talked about meal and office expense and everything. Expense like digital marketing, would that be 100% deductible?
Yes, yes. So the key here is a lot of times digital marketing expenses do not have one-to-one result, meaning you spend money first, you create the brand, and then you get the benefit much later, maybe 3 months, 6 months, even a year later. So the expenses are counted in the period when you are incurring the expenses. If you are paying the digital marketing team now, this is when you claim the expenses. You may be earning the revenue against this marketing, against this advertising next year after 6 months. But the expenses will be counted when you are paying these expenses.
Correct. And most of the deductions that small business, they're entitled to get them, they should really save the backup of it, just invoices or receipt or something.
Absolutely. So for a small business, as much as we are talking about deduction, everybody wants to maximize the deduction. Nobody wants to be audited. You don't want to get audited. It's too stressful, too expensive. So make sure you have some sort of a receipt around it, some sort of invoice around it, and most importantly, proof of payment. Why did you pay and how did you pay? So invoice and proof of payment. You have to have both parts of the equation in order to justify, legitimize the expense.
Okay, and the last question I have before we start talking digital marketing is professional CPA accounting firms fees are 100% deductible?
Yes, sir. It's a business expense. Anything that you pay to the CPA, attorney, any professional help, and this is a very good question. So I'm asked, what can I claim as an expense for my small business? And I tell all the clients, close your eyes. Ask yourself, if you had this expense, if you did not have this business, if you have an expense because you have the business, that's a business expense. If you are going to the CPA for your business taxes, that's a deductible expense. Personal tax preparation fees is not deductible. It's not a business expense. You would have had that expense anyway. So any expense that you wouldn't have had if you did not have the business, that's how you want to look at it.
Okay, interesting. All right, so these are the key things when it comes to common business deductions for small businesses. We're going to have a list also posted on the show on the screen, so that way when you're watching the show, you can just look at all the business deductions list that AJ and his staff at Science CPA Services has preferred. You'll definitely see it on the screen. Now let's direct our attention to Mr. Gaurav Garg. He's the founder and CEO. He is also digital marketing specialist of company Entrust. I like the name Entrust.
Entrust Tech.
Entrust Technology. Yeah, in technology you trust.
Yes.
Now, before the break, obviously you gave us a little bit of overview that how important digital marketing is and how essential it is. And both of you got connected. AJ, you've been running successful CPA firm and you have experience of over 25 years. What made you, when you really decided that digital marketing is important, and for years you've been doing it, what made you to choose Gaurav Garg and his company among many other individuals out there?
Well, they are local. They're easily accessible. It's not a one-man army. They have a team around it, so somebody will be picking up your phone. And Sanjeevji, truth be told, there are 12,000 CPA in New Jersey alone. There are 500,000. I'm not counting the CPA who have job. I'm counting the practicing CPAs only.
Wow.
It doesn't matter how much you know. How do you differentiate yourself? Unless people can find you, it doesn't matter how much you know. See, we are ethnic CPA, we are Indian CPA. What we know is more than 90% CPAs out there. We can do the Indian business startup, people who own companies from India over here. We can do the foreign tax reporting. We do 5471, 5472. We do a lot of foreign tax work. But unless people can find us, it doesn't mean what we do. And that's where we bring Gaurav in. That's where we need some sort of system, some sort of marketing system, digital marketing system for people to reach us, to find us.
So the being local is one thing, having team is also another thing, so that way at least you have multiple people to talk to and then they can advise you, guide you in that. All right, Gaurav, when you look at Science CPA Services and their history and the background, you would know immediately they are very successful. But no matter what, no matter how successful business is, they all need promotion. They all need, look at Coca-Cola and Budweiser and many other products, right?
Absolutely.
They continue to stay in the limelight. So when you look at CPA firm like that, what kind of notes that you prepare, that how are you going to promote this this client in ethnic market or regular market, or what platform, how do you prepare your notes?
So for a service provider like Science CPA, first of all, thank you AJ for showing your trust in Entrust Tech. We went through the website, see how the content is. It's a service providing for businesses and for personals CPA services. So we had to be more diligent about the content, what goes out to the users, because if any misinformation goes out, it is not good. So we audited the content on the website so that it appears well on the Google and other search engines. Then for the services like Sci CPA, we have to we have to check whether the reviews that are available on Google or any other platforms like Facebook or Instagram, they are legit, they are good, and nobody is playing a game with them, like putting out AI reviews and all of that, because that at times will hurt the reputation for a company. We don't want that, so we take care of that. Then for the services like Sai CPA, there are specific platforms that can give you better results, because Sai CPA works with a lot of businesses, so they can promote their services on LinkedIn platform. That is a very niche platform for the businesses who are like corporates or big size businesses, so they get their information right there in their feed. So that's what we have to plan the strategy accordingly.
Very good, makes sense. Now, is there a possible that you look at the client and you say this client may be not good for ABC platform, XYZ platform, it's not going to do any good. So do you do that, or you just go out full-fledged in all the platforms?
Say, for example, would you put Sabji Mandi on LinkedIn?
Correct.
Oh, that's a very good question. No, Sabji Mandi won't do good on LinkedIn. Correct. Unless corporates are buying a big truckload of vegetables.
Right.
So Sanjeev ji, to answer your question, businesses, we have to create the content strategy per platform based on the business's needs. If there is a small business who are selling products, so they will be good on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. Right? If somebody is doing e-commerce, so they will be well to do on their own website, right? E-commerce website, and they will do well on TikTok. These days, a lot of young generation and older generation alike, they are on TikTok, and TikTok has given a feature like TikTok Shop, where you see the product and then right there you can buy it.
Interesting. I just have two questions, and during the show I'll make sure that I ask those two questions. But before that, one question: is there a digital marketing convention that you go to, because you are in this business, you're doing so well over the years, and you get to learn different methods of digital marketing for potential clients?
Yes, I do go to different expos that are arranged. There are companies like SEMrush and Moz. They organize yearly conventions and summits. So we go there, we interact with the different marketing people like us. So it's a good platform to exchange ideas, learn what somebody else is doing to promote their client and their own services.
Good to know, because I really wanted to know that, so that our viewers can find out about you and your company, that you go out there to gather the information, you are part of the digital marketing, and you continuously updating your knowledge and experience on that field. Two questions. One, definitely out of the books, but I'm going to ask you that question. You mentioned all these platforms, and one sticks out is TikTok. Mm-hmm. What if TikTok is sanctioned, or TikTok is put on a note here that you cannot be used in the USA, as many countries don't allow TikTok? Would that affect the businesses?
That definitely is going to impact the businesses. That's why we have started advising our business owners that do not put all your eggs in one basket. Oh. If you rely solely on TikTok, do find the alternatives. So the one good alternative for the TikTok product selling businesses is either Instagram, or you can use a similar service from YouTube Shorts. I'm sure in due course of time there will be new platforms that will pop up, but for now I would stick to Instagram.
In case if that happens, right. Even though I think they're going to try, Donald Trump and the government may try to have owner here, USA owned company, if it's possible, if it works out. Anyway, my next question to you is, and this is a very valuable question, for anybody, for small businesses, large businesses, when they are on digital marketing media, and nowadays, listen, consumer has always been intelligent. Now they have become super intelligent. Now they have become super involved in the social media and everything. And what they want to do, happy, not happy, they want to write a review. My question to you is that, how does this review work and how reliable they are, and what should small businesses learn from these reviews?
So consider this. I'm a end user. I'm looking for a CPA services. So I'll go on Google. I'll type CPA services maybe near me. That's a good keyword. I find Sai CPA services. They came up because we did their search engine optimization. So as a user, I will look at the reviews, how somebody else has rated them. It may be good, it may be bad, but it gives me as a consumer idea how the service was provided to them, what were the good points, what were the bad points. So as a consumer myself, I read the reviews for my own satisfaction, whether I should go and apply for the service there.
Okay, so reviews can be taken seriously, but then, sometimes you have to use your common sense. As a business owner, you have to use your common sense that how much, to rely on
That
those
is
reviews.
that is correct. Yes.
Okay, all right. Gaurav, thank you so very much for your feedback and your input and when it comes to digital marketing. And AJ, as always, thank you for your
Of course, sir.
valuable
Thank you.
guidance on the tax matters. And until we meet again, same place, same time with the Tax Talk AJ show on your favorite ITV Gold channel. I am Sanjeev Pandya, wishing you all happy and the tax-free days ahead. So long.
Thank you.